Hi, Wilo. How are you? Hi, Seema. How are you? How are you guys doing? I'm good today. I'm tired, but good. I think today I never actually uploaded the what's it called? The redirecting meditation. So I figured today would be a good day because I want to talk about like relationships and stuff like that. I'm going to sleep, realize it's 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, it's late. It's 7 p.m. here. So Seema, if it's too late, I don't know if you have Facebook, but I'm going to be uploading this, the guided meditation is going to be on Facebook. And it's going to be on there for a while. So if you want to go and check it out tomorrow, any day. Bye, Seema. Have a good night's sleep. Facebook, I don't use Facebook. I know, not a lot of people do anymore. Seema, by the way, are you gone yet? Let me know if you're gone, if you have 1 minute to spare. I have a message for you. Hi, Starry Queen. All right. If you mess up and you make mistakes on exams, oh my God, or if you're not doing your best and something happens, okay, because everybody messes up, please don't mess up on forgetting to love yourself through the mistakes that you make. Okay, so if anybody is doing any exam, and it's exam period now, it's tests, it's everything, and people, if they don't do so well, it's one thing to not do so well because your memory's off, or maybe you were stressed or you were tired or whatever. But if you're not doing so well, and then after that you call yourself stupid, I should have done better, I should have studied more, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, I don't like this, then you're failing not just at school, but at the school of life. So even if you don't do super, super well at regular school, do not fail at the school of life, which is the most important thing, is loving yourself. Okay, so Seema, sending you love. Good luck on everything, but just remember, do not hate yourself through this process of exams. Do not criticize yourself and compare yourself through the exam process, because that is what causes most of people's anxiety attacks. Seema, so my daughter did the same thing. Same thing. She went through the same thing and she started freaking out and she was criticizing herself. And I'm like, no. Exams are not life. They're a temporary thing that you're going through school now. It's temporary. But you know what's not temporary? The love that you have for yourself. The self-respect that you need to give yourself. Okay? So please just remember that for anybody that's going through any exams or messing up or doing whatever, okay? That was just the last message before you go to bed. Okay? Remember that. And that's the biggest exam. Can you love yourself when you make mistakes? Can you love yourself when you're not perfect? Can you love yourself when you're not memorizing everything perfectly fine and not doing 100% so amazing at school or in your family life and your relationships? Can you love yourself when it's hard? When times are hard, because it's easy to love ourselves when times are easy. You know, I love myself. I'm good. And then times are hard and you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm messing up. And then it's not. So that's the challenge. You can fail sometimes at parenting, at exams, at quizzes, at whatever, but don't fail at treating yourself kindly and loving yourself, okay? Please remember, use the tools when it's hard. It's easy to meditate when things are going well. It's easy to do the tapping when everything is going well. But when times are hard, that's not easy to remember to write down your feelings and do the gratitude journals. You don't want to. You're like, fuck that. I'm not worth it. Life is stupid. I'm stupid. All that. That's the exam that you need to pass. That's what I'm saying. It's the exam that you need to pass is not the exams that are at school, are the exams of like, hey, life is hard right now. Can you still love yourself? Can you still love yourself when life is tough? Because we shame ourselves when we're sick, when we are not doing so great. So this message is for everybody today that is struggling or messed up on something in their life, whether it's a relationship, an exam at school, or whatever. Right? So today I feel a little extra for people. Yes, exactly. Here, can you put him back there? My dog's going to be walking around. He just went outside. Go to bed. Go. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Hi, Mark. How's it going? I'm learning to love the light and the darkness within. That's amazing. So I want to talk about that. I'm really happy, actually, Sin, that you brought this up. My day's been pretty good, very relaxing because I had a lot to do today, but I was extremely tired, so I kind of took it easy. Hi, Kelsa. By the way, for those of you, I have to say this, and Kelsa doesn't know this. For those of you who haven't, I need you guys to go boost Kelsa's video. I used her sound on my stories today. Kelsa is singing in her, I'm totally going to embarrass you on this live. Her song came on my For You page right before, like a couple of hours ago. You don't even know. Her voice is like shivers. Like shivers. Okay? Like you don't know. So please go check out Kelsa's video. And she's singing and it's beautiful. And you can check out my story, Kelsa. I put, because I was taking a walk today in the forest and I put Kelsa's voice onto the beautiful forest thing. You don't even know how it's like. I saved the sound. I'm going to use it to one of my videos. That's how good. So Kelsa, I keep making them and I'm going to use some sounds for my videos. Like amazing. Side note. Like absolutely beautiful voice. How you're not famous already, I don't know. Okay, so what Sin said, so Sin mentioned, my pleasure, Kelsa. So Sin mentioned, start learning to love the light and the darkness in me, right? Oops, hold on a second. I want to talk about something because when we start to love and accept the darkness in us, we sometimes stop integrating boundaries in our life. We think that loving the darkness in us is also loving the darkness in everybody else. And this is like a spiritual / mental health / healing journey. And this is the problem with a lot of spiritual and healing journey people. Okay, so one of the biggest problems is setting boundaries because we think, hey, we don't have to set that many boundaries. We have to be forgiving, love and light. So our partner can treat us any kind of way. Our friends can get really mean and angry and they're like, that's okay. I have to love unconditionally all the light and the darkness. But loving the darkness doesn't mean ignoring it in others. It doesn't mean that people can treat you badly and it's just their darkness. So there's a huge part of shadow work and relationships that's connected with boundaries. And I really want to talk about that. That's why I'm glad you brought it up, Sin, because I want to talk about it in the live today. We're really going to talk about boundaries and how people and relationships, because I don't know about you, but pretty much almost like 90% of friends and families relationships lacks boundaries, that I know that they just let their partner talk to them any kind of way or do this. And even you might have a tendency to kind of slip, and you know, you have a dark side, but then your dark side, is it hurting other people? Right? You need reminder on boundaries, which is what I'm going to do today. Because the thing is accepting the dark side doesn't mean fully allowing yourself to just verbally or physically just bleh on everybody. Be like, I am accepting the darkness. And I had a friend a long time ago, many years ago, and I told her to read the Shadow Effect book. And it's a hard read. It's complicated because Deepak Chopra, if you guys know, his reads are like, you know, the cosmos of the quantum universe. And you're like, what? So it was a bit of a tough read, and she didn't really grasp it. And she kind of went into her darkness, and she was learning to love and accept it. But what was happening, and it was in Mercury retrograde, and what was happening is she was all hormonal, unbalanced, and she was literally just attacking everybody with her words. Because what happens is if you suppress the darkness so long, and then you learn to love it, you're bringing your awareness to it. So now all your triggers that were suppressed are now there, and you can see them. The key, though, is when you're setting boundaries with yourself. Let me repeat that. Setting boundaries with yourself before you set them with others. So setting boundaries with yourself means exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of this live, is that when you mess up, don't get angry at yourself. Don't call yourself stupid, you're dumb, you're this. If somebody messed up, if you knew your kid messed up at something by accident, did an accident, would you call some people would call their kids stupid, but if you messed up when you were a kid, would you like it if your parents called you stupid and dumb? No. Set boundaries with yourself and say, don't talk to me that way. You can say it to yourself. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but it works. Don't talk to me like that. So let's say I am mean to myself. Hey, Tanya, stop it. Stop it. Don't talk to me like that. So you set boundaries with yourself. And setting boundaries with yourself also means not verbally attacking someone else. And if you slip, there's always making amends, not just apologizing. Apologizing means nothing without making amends. And if you don't know how to make amends and how to physically apologize, you say, how can I make amends? How would this, you know what I mean? Because nobody's perfect. But setting boundaries with others is not ignoring that their darkness went a lot. I get so many clients and friends, and I hear their people that are with them are treating them like crap, and they just let it happen. They just let it happen, and they find excuses for it. I had to set boundaries, which they didn't like, but after a while, they adjusted. Okay, so hi, Becky, how are you? It's my norm to bash myself. So I guess setting boundaries with myself for sure, okay? So that's the first step, Sin. The first step is set boundaries with yourself. I always say, as within, so without. Whatever you do and feel on the inside will radiate on your outside world. So think about it this way. If you can shit on yourself when you're not doing well, and you're like, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb, I can't believe I did this, you can easily say it to other people. When they're not perfect, what are you, stupid? What are you, dumb? And that's uncalled for. You cannot talk to people like that. You can't talk to you like that. And so remember, also, when people tell you, are you stupid? Are you dumb? You will take it because you're used to calling yourself stupid and dumb. So there's a lot of benefits to setting boundaries with yourself and learning to talk to yourself with kind words. I don't talk to people like that. So Sin, this is the thing with the shadow, about shadow work. Most people who criticize themselves never criticize others, except when they have had enough. Meaning, they have no boundaries with themselves. Maybe let's say their partner will be like, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're this. Thank you, Becky. All this stuff. And you say it to yourself, I'm stupid, I'm so dumb, it's my fault, it's this, like just all that, I'm not good enough. I'm not good like those people. I'm not this, I'm not that. People criticize you. You won't criticize them back. But when you get criticized enough, you will lose it. Your boundaries are, and at one point you're like, stop it. Fuck you, you're nothing. Or words that you may use. You're stupid. You're an idiot. What are you, dumb? And by the way, just because you don't verbally say it doesn't mean you don't feel it for others. If you look at someone, what are you, fucking stupid? Some people say it in their head. What are you, an idiot? But if you can say it to yourself and you can say it to others, just ask yourself, why are you saying it? Why are you thinking it? You may not say it to people, but you can think it. But just saying and thinking it is like, nobody is dumb and stupid. People are functioning based on their life experience. Everybody in life is functioning based on their past, on what they've learned. And people are shaming, is it Kendall, I think? Cutting the cucumber. Did you guys see that? I just saw that today. Apparently, she doesn't know how to cut a cucumber. And she was holding the cucumber crooked. And her mom's like, do you want me to get the chef? She's like, no. And I didn't even know because people were making fun of her on my For You page. And I'm like, what is this? So I went to look what it was. She never cut a cucumber. To us, it's basic, but she never has because that's her life. So people function. So some people are calling her a fucking idiot. She's so stupid. But everybody is doing the best they can based on their past. Her past has been chefs. She never had to cook. She never had to cut cucumbers. Some people, that's based. She doesn't want to be considered stupid. And who are us to call her stupid just because her past experience didn't allow her to learn to do that? Do you know what I mean? So it's just an example. Boundaries are great as long as you know and are aware of the boundaries you need to put in place. Exactly, Maria. So this is where I'm going to tell you guys a few things about relationships and stuff that might help you today. So however anybody's willing to hear this, don't judge a fish on riding a bicycle. Exactly. That's a good one. Sorry, Queen. I get what you're saying. So what did I want to start with? Boundaries. So boundaries with yourself is what I wanted to talk about. Okay. So thank you for being here, Sin. All right. If you have a relationship, okay, and the reason I'm saying this, and I want to talk about this. Hi, Tim. How's it going? I am going to talk about boundaries, but I first want to talk about relationships with your family, your friends, and your partner. The close relationships that you have. And I think it's really important I talk about this today because the pandemic is a little bit kind of over. Emotions are still, there's a lot of stress, a lot of things. What else is happening now? Mercury retrograde, full moon, eclipse, all sorts of, you know what I mean? A lot of online fighting and war in the world. And there's just a lot of stuff, a lot of division, a lot of anger, and a lot of things. And that could bring up some emotional stuff, right? With your partner, your friend, your family, your mom, your dad, your cousin, sister, brother, whatever, okay? Whoever you're with. So I'm going to give you guys some tips, and I'm going to upload this live to so anybody who misses this or can't make it for long, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And I'm going to go live at 8 o'clock. I'm going live for the meditation on here and on Facebook. I have it right beside me. So I want you to, oh, by the way, if you want to support my live, you can double tap. You can share this live. If you think about anybody that could need help with a relationship, tension, something that they're going through right now, whatever. And double tap if you like what I'm saying. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can just either listen or swipe to the next video. So if you're having any issues with anybody that you are close to and that you care about, I want you to imagine, okay, how many hours until 8 p.m. Eastern? Okay, so it's 7, so it's in about 40 minutes. The live meditation there is in 40 minutes. So here it's 7:20. All right. So I want you to imagine, I'm going to just ask you a question before I start. Would you, if you saw a fire starting beside your house, would you put out the fire? Hi, Cece. So that's the question. I want to know, would you? I know it sounds a silly question, but this is important. Yes, I do, Chris Cassie. I do remember. Okay, so there's a little fire starting like right beside your house. Would you put it out? Sounds like, right? I'd try, but probably make it bigger. Okay, so it's like a little fire, you have a little fire. And so some people are saying yes. Some people are saying, I don't know, I could make it bigger. Some people say, I'd call a firefighter. All these answers are valid because I'll tell you why in a second, right? Chris Cassie, I don't have it with me. Oh no. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. My laptop is dying. Give me a second. And I have the live after. Give me a second. I'm just going to plug it in. Give me a second because I want to know the question there. All right. Okay. So back to what I was saying. Yes, if it's obvious, if it wasn't supposed to be there. All right. Okay. So if you have a fire and you see the fire beside your house, you're going to want to put it out. 100%. If you don't put out the fire, it's going to grow, okay? And it's going to make its way into your house and burn it from the inside. So if you guys know, sorry to trigger anybody who has had any of this happen for real, but I literally witnessed a fire in our neighbors, and it comes from the inside, burns everything on the inside, and then at the end, the house crumbles. It goes from the inside. And everything that you value is gone. All the important small things that you love are gone. Now I want you to imagine the fire like a fight, an argument. So some people look at a fight, a disagreement that they have with their partner. I want you to see the disagreement as a fire. Okay, so some people walk away from disagreements. They don't want to deal, and they hope that when they walk away, that the fight will just, let it go. Don't bring it up. The fire's there. They know it's there, but I think I'm just going to let nature take its course. If I walk away and I'm diffusing it, it's just going to die out. And you know what? We'll see. Some people do that. Some people try to put out the fire. Some people go get firefighters. Somebody wrote, some people don't know how to put out a fire, so they go get firefighters. Now, the same thing, if you apply the fire like a fight, some people don't know how to fix a fight. So they call their friend, their family. They call a therapist, a coach, a psychologist, because some people don't know how to put out a fire, right? So some people, yes, well, Maria, I'm not talking about a fire right now. I'm just giving an analogy. So if you get the analogy, I'm not actually saying I'm just giving examples of you would still be upset if you lost everything in your house. So if you're somebody that has lost everything to a fire, it can be replaced. And I want you to see what you said. It can be replaced. It's fine, but you're still upset. You're still sad that you lost everything that you valued. Now imagine that the fire is a fight in the relationship. You are two people having a disagreement, and there is a fire, there is the fight. If you see it as outside of yourself, it is not me and against you. It's not who started the fire. When a fire starts, do you run around going, you started the fire and you did and you started the fire? No, you try to put out the fire. And if you don't know how, you ask somebody to help you. The same thing with a fight. If you are having a disagreement with someone you love and care about, if you do not work together, not me against you, but us against the problem, us against the fight, to put out the fire together, to put out that fight together, what happens is that fight may burn out a bit, but it will go. It will grow. You may not see it, but it'll grow and it'll make itself way, just like a fire, into your relationship and will burn from the inside. You will start creating resentment. You will start getting angry. And even though you may not be so upset later and you walked away and you're like, I don't want to deal with this. And then maybe your partner's like, hey, what about that fire? And you're like, no, let's not talk about that. Let's move on. Let's be positive. You're not acknowledging, just like a fire, you're not acknowledging the fire. You're not saying, hey, let's be positive and not see the fire. It's going to burn down the house from the inside. Let's not look at it. Let's not, just move on. Be positive. So a lot of us do that in relationships. Most of us. Some people would just like, no, now it's okay in a disagreement to take a small time away. If you are having a disagreement with a friend, family member, partner, it's okay to take a short time away. But imagine me and you watched this little fire, and this fire started right beside the house. It's not in the house, but it's beside the house. If you go and leave, and while you're gone, you just walk away, what would be the best thing to do while you're gone? Try to find solutions, how to put out the fire. When you leave, go get some water. When you leave, go get fire extinguisher. When you leave, you work on still solving the problem. And you say, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in 10. So the same thing applies. This is an analogy, once again. The same thing applies to the fight. When you are arguing and fighting with your partner, if you tell your partner, I will be back in an hour. I will be back in a half an hour. And when you split up and walk away from each other, you don't spend that time saying, I can't believe they started the fire. I can't believe they started the fight. It's their fault. You know what you're doing? You're saying it's me against you. And having a me against you mentality is what makes you break your relationships. Having a mentality of it's us against the problem. What if the other person doesn't want to help put it out together? So there's different, Haley, I'm going to address all of the questions like when it concerns, because there's a lot of, this is a really good question. And I'm going to address some things. I am not involving physical or verbal abuse here. What I'm talking about is a relationship that you care about and you want that is not emotional or physically abusive. I'm talking here about regular emotional, arguments, fights, and disagreements and things like that. But I will address when it comes to emotional and physical abuse, and you are the only one that is dealing with this, and the other partner is the one making the fire, throwing the fire at you, and just keeps lighting fires no matter what, that you have to consider yourself saying, why are you the one that's always putting out the fires? Why are you doing the work? And your partner is the one lighting the fires, your friend, your family members. Why are they always? And you bring up, hey, there's fire. Stop bringing up the fires. They're lighting a fire and getting upset that you're bringing up fire. I'm going to bring that up a little bit after, but that is something to consider, what kind of relationships. And that's when I'm going to talk about boundaries. Okay. When we're going to start bringing up boundaries. But What if your partner has zero emotional intelligence because of her childhood? Okay, so it's impossible to have zero emotional intelligence. So if you're saying somebody has zero emotional intelligence, that's a form of really, I hope that's not you saying that about your partner, because then your partner needs to set boundaries with you. Because if somebody came to me and said you have zero emotional intelligence, I would tell them to fuck off. Because it's impossible to have zero emotional intelligence. It is possible to come from a place of logic because they were never taught how to talk about emotions. So they come from a place of logic, like they just, logically this and logically that. And then there's some people who have only emotional intelligence and very, very low logic, which I'm going to be honest, I come from that. I come from a place of emotions. I have a partner that comes from logic. And we always have to settle in. He has to access his emotional side to relate with me, and I have to access my logical side, because both are important. Both are part of the human experience, right? Yeah, so if somebody has no idea, listen, I'm going to be uploading this live on YouTube, so I would highly suggest you send them this live and work together on building more of emotional communication. So it's maybe not emotional intelligence, it could be emotional communication, because some people have a really hard time bringing up communication. And some people are with partners who are a little too communicative, and there's that balance, right, that needs to be found. So going back to the fire that I was saying, that fight, if you do not address, so let's say it's you against your partner, right? It's not, like I said, the fire started, the fight started. And in order to not let the fight or that fire go into your home or go into your relationship, so not let the fight enter your relationship and burn your relationship from the inside out, you need to address the core problem, the core issue. What started that? What started the fire? And that's how you put it out. So you say, hey, what is the emotion that first came out from this? It's like, imagine our emotions can start fires. Think about it that way. We have this really emotion. By trying to be positive, will not put out the fire. That's just ignoring the fire and saying, no, let's let it burn. Now remember, over time, if you keep ignoring the fire, it will come into your, if you keep ignoring the fights, it will come into your relationship and burn your relationship. That's why so many people, they don't have boundaries, and all of a sudden they take so much crap from their partner, and eventually they can't take it anymore. And their partner never talks about anything, just ignores it. And they think, it's fine. My partner's just calm, doesn't want to talk about stuff. But here you are building resentment, right? But there's a way. So maybe your partner doesn't want to talk to you because maybe you are too much or for them. So there's a way to stop seeing it me against you. It is never me against you. When you love someone, now, again, I'm not talking about a relationship that's, toxic, abuse, whatever. I'm talking about somebody you really care about, that you want in your life, like a friend, a partner, anything, right? So if you guys are together, it is not you against the person. It's you guys against the problem. And you need to make that clear, that no matter who started this fight. Hi, Mary. Hi, Soul Earth. Well, we'll try to lift you up, Soul Earth, today, all right? I hope we'll do our best to try to to change that. So, if you see that it's you guys against the problem, and now you work together on putting out that fire, that fire is gone. Now, it doesn't mean a new fire won't start, a new argument or disagreement, but it won't come into the house. And what happens is the more you put out fires together, the more you will feel connected. Thank you, Wilo. Meditation in 25 minutes. So remember that if you are with your mom, your dad, your partner, your friend, anybody, and you guys are now putting out fires together, putting out your fights together and working together, that strengthens your relationship, because now you're like, hey, it's not me against you, it's us against the problem, and see the problem outside of you. Now we have to own our words, we have to own our actions, and a big part, a huge part, there's a lot of aspects, so this is not just like a black and white thing, okay, like this and this, that's it. There's a lot of gray area in here, okay? It's me against me at the moment. Well, this is something that you can practice with yourself. If you start a fire and then you are against you right now, you have to you have to now work with you, like work on yourself and the relationship with yourself. All right? Now, vulnerability. People see it as weakness. And I think people earn our vulnerability. I think vulnerability, it's just my opinion, shouldn't be given to everybody. Because if we would be too vulnerable online, people will shit on us. If we're too vulnerable with a stranger, if you're at the gym and you're working out, this actually happened to me. I was at the gym working out. It was a few years before COVID, and somebody came up to me and just like, just said everything about her life. And I was like, I didn't even know, even me being empathetic and compassionate, I didn't even know how to respond to this vulnerability, because people don't all deserve your vulnerability. But I believe that the people we love do. Our partners, our kids, our family members. There are some people that deserve our vulnerability, and those are the ones that treat us with respect, because vulnerability is strength in relationship. Now, I'll tell you why. If you come at your partner with ego and control and not vulnerability of what you're really feeling, chances are they're going to come back at you with ego and control. I don't care. Do what you want. They're going to say, fine. That's not what you want, right? You don't want them to say, fine, okay, fine, whatever. You don't want that. And for years, I did this. For years, I used my ego in hopes that I would get love back. I was like, they're going to show me. I'm going to wait for someone to prove to me that they will love me and they will do that. And I realized, how can I expect vulnerability and love when I'm giving ego, when I'm giving, right? So it's a big part in a relationship to give vulnerability to each other and sit there and say, what is really hurting you? So when the fight starts and the fire starts and you go your separate ways to either get water, get help, like somebody said, get a firefighter, get a therapist, get a coach, get a psychologist, get a friend. And the other person runs the other way, get water, get things that will help put out the fire. But while you're away, you can choose to get angry at each other and blame each other for who started the fire, or you can split up and find ways to solve and put out the fire. And this, my friends, is a huge part in relationships. When you split up and take that time for you. And by the way, somebody mentioned abandonment. When you leave and walk away from a fight, you have to let the other person know for how long. You cannot just leave a fight and abandon. That is for any relationship. Try doing that to a kid. Try doing that to a kid who's upset, walking away and not telling them when you're coming back and just leaving the house. You can't do that to people. It's really to people you love and care about. And if somebody's doing that to you, you have to let them know, give me a time when you come back. It's okay to leave. You're allowed, but give me a time. And this will help anybody. It'll prevent from feeling abandonment. It'll help you if you have abandonment issues. I've been so vulnerable that I've gotten so gaslit that I gaslit myself. Oh my goodness. I still find it hard to leave for any amount of time. Impulse to stay and fix things. So Starry Queen, I'm like you. Okay? Yes, so Starry Queen, I'm like you. I am someone that likes to say, and let's fix this now. Let's resolve this now. But if you are with someone, family, friend, anybody who is not like you have to respect their boundaries. Because some people, I'm able to calm myself immediately. Like I'm able to sit there and just say, okay, let's calmly talk about, okay, fine. I will listen to you, you'll listen to me. But some people have all these emotions that are built up and they can't do that. So what they need to do is to walk away. And that's okay. That's okay. Remember, we have to respect each other's boundaries. But they will respect yours by saying, when are they coming back? 5 minutes? 1 hour? 2 hours? So you guys are both respecting each other's boundaries because you care and love each other, right? I have a generational trauma trying to break the cycle. Well, sin, that's all we can do. I think a lot of us have generational trauma, and it's possible. Listen, I've broken a lot of generational traumas, a lot. And it's crazy because even my family is breaking now. Like my dad started breaking it recently. And my dad just told me today, next year he's turning 70. And he just said, he's like, hey, I'm breaking some traumas. And I'm like, okay. He's starting at 70 and it's never too late. It's never too late for anybody to break the cycle of what's happening. I agree. What have you found helps you let others walk away? Helps you let others walk away. So people who have a sense of abandonment. So I have a lot of fear of abandonment, like massive. There's a lot of things that happened in my childhood that I have. When somebody leaves, it almost gets like I get a trigger inside, even till this day. Not as big now because I've done a lot of the reparenting and all that, but I still get a little like, hey. So I'm like, hey, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? I don't go, fine, leave, don't come back. You know, I used to say that. If you leave now, you're not coming back. I'm not letting you in. I lock the door. You're like, it would make it worse. Like triggers, when we get triggered, our ego is the first thing. So let's say you have a trigger in your subconscious, it pops up to the surface, and then your ego is like, at first. So it's very hard to get triggered and then bring love into the trigger. It is very hard. It's like, I'll give you an example, because the fight, flight, fawn, freeze, all that stuff pops up when you're triggered. So imagine a bear comes up to you right now. You're sitting there and you know this bear is angry, aggressive, and hungry. Are you going to bring love and light into this situation? You're triggered. You're like, right away, immediate fight or flight. And you're like, I will bring love and light and this will just help this. No, right now you need to fight, flight, freeze, fawn, do the whole whatever, give fawn and give the bear some food, whatever. But what's happening is internally you're feeling emotional fight, flight, and all that. So you can't just go and like fake this happiness. But by acknowledging what your trigger is, and you can use it to your advantage. So by saying, and you're not controlling them, you're saying, listen, you're allowing them to leave. When are you coming back? Let me know when you're coming back. When are you going to call me? When are we going to talk? Where are you, not where are you going, what's happening, and all those things, just for you, what involves you. And this is a big thing that's amazing in relationships. This is something I'm telling you that works in my relationship. My boyfriend is somebody that leaves. I'm somebody that likes to talk. So I don't have to tell him anymore. He's like, I can't deal. I can't deal. I don't know if he says I can't deal. He's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And then he's like, I'm leaving. And he needs to take a walk or take a drive or do whatever. And he says, I'll be back in an hour. I'll be back in a half an hour. And he used to never tell me. Then he started telling me, I don't know when. I'll be back, but I don't know when. That didn't work for me. Give me a time. And now, yeah, exactly. So what if they say, I don't know when I'm coming back? This is the cool part, okay? When you're calm, like right now, if you're not in a disagreement with your friend or your partner or whoever, and you say, hey, listen, when we have a disagreement, can you tell me when? Just give me a time. That's my boundary. That is my boundary. And it'll really help my healing process. It'll really help the healing process of you tell me when. Not, I don't know. I don't know, we'll see. Because the I don't know, we'll see is abandonment, is complete abandonment. And nobody wants to feel abandoned, especially if you felt it in your past. It's just going to bring up. And by the way, if you get abandoned, or if you're somebody that abandons, I'll give you an example. If you get abandoned and somebody said, I don't know when I'm coming back. I may not come back. I don't know. Like, you know, when it starts to get like that, what happens is, you know how I said, see the fight like the fire? If the person leaves, you no longer are in a space to put out the fire. You're not in a space to self-reflect and say, what could I have said? What could I do better? What is my part? What part did I play in this fight? Me self-reflecting on taking responsibility of your part, not saying ye did that and you did that and she did that and they did that and this, that. Not that. But if a person abandons you, you're not in a space to self-reflect. You can't take responsibility because now you're in a space of fight or flight. You're in the space of getting triggered. And now, forget the fight. You don't even care about the fight anymore. Now they're abandoning you. So already there's a fight. Now there's abandonment. Now you're just, and this is what I mean by starting the fire will enter into the relationship. So just on a calm time, I would strongly suggest for anybody in a relationship to talk to your partner or your friend or your family member, if you can, and say, write down a list tonight, if you can, of your boundaries, like healthy boundaries of what you need. And you express them to other people. This is what you need to do because you deserve, and I know some boundaries are really stupid to you. You're like, dude, these are simple boundaries. Like, speak to me with kind words. That's like, come on. That's a logical boundary to all of us, right? But what is the consequence of your boundary? So if you can even do that whenever you have time, you write that down right now. Write a list of your boundaries and the consequence to when the boundary is not respected. I'll give you an example. I want you to speak to me with kind words. I want you to respect me when you speak to me. The consequence when you do not respect me is I will walk away. I will build resentment. I will want to feel like getting revenge. I will want to move out. I will eventually leave. But when you say the consequences, you say, but what, I don't want that. I want the boundary. The consequences are things I don't want. I want the boundary, right? So some people say, yes, it could be, it should be logical. I get that. It should be. But sometimes people just need a reminder. And guess what? You said it. You stated your boundary. And now whoever's in your life knows your boundaries. I have a friend. I'll give you an example. I don't talk often about the lives of my friends and stuff like that. But I do have a friend who is not a babysitter. Like we're a group of friends, and she's not somebody that is really like take care of kids and stuff like that. She stated her boundary. I don't watch kids. If you need, don't ask me. And none of us get mad at her. None of us expect it from her because she stated a boundary. And whoever doesn't like that is not her friend anymore. And that's all it is. That's all there is to it. And she stated, but she let us know. So it's not like, oh my God, my friends always. So if she never would have said her boundary, we would have all been like, oh my God. Oh, I thought it was the cat. The door started opening and I was like, the door is the cat opening the door. So that's just an idea of when you state your boundaries, although they're different for everyone, you're allowed to have them. So when they cross your boundaries, you can just remind them, say, hey, remember, this is my boundary. This is what I need in life. This is what I want. I don't want the consequences. I don't want to have to move out. And by the way, I had a couple of healing talks with family members and stuff like that. I don't know, some of you guys know that I talked about it in my other live. There's a couple of healing talks that I had with even kind of toxic family members, and I said, I want to be in your life. I want you to be in my life. I really want that with all my heart. If I could get any wish in my life, was for you to forever be in my life. I really want you in my life. But in order for you to be in my life, I need you to be kind to me with your words. You cannot snap at me and call me names. Because if that happens, you cannot be in my life. Because I don't want that in my life. I don't want people to talk to me like that. So if you do, then I can't be in your life. I have to be far away from you. But I don't want that. What are you doing right now? Do you know you're giving them the option to make a decision? You're giving them the option to respect your boundary or not. It's not on you anymore. And a lot of people have told me, I get a lot of clients that ask me, they say, my parents or my things, they won't respect me. They won't do anything. What do I do? But I don't want to cut them off, because what if they die? What if something happens to them exactly when I cut them off? And then there's the guilt. So we keep them in our lives, and it's toxic, and we keep them, right? So what if a family member you told snaps at you? Will you leave for good? Love Lavender. Or will you keep forgiving? So Love Lavender, I actually did a boundaries and a consequence. And I happened to have a family member said, okay, which one do you want? Do you want to speak to me with respectful, kind words? And this is cool, by the way. I really want you guys to see. If you're on the healing journey and you have this emotional and logical intelligence that's a little bit higher than people who are not doing the work at all, you can help them find solutions to how to talk to you better. You totally can. And I did that, and it has so far worked. I have a family member that was speaking to me very disrespectfully every time they were getting upset. I was the punching bag. Very easy to get mad at me. And this person, I said, I really want you in my life. I want you actively in my life. Every week I want to see you. I love, if it could be, my dream in the world would be that we would be close. But if you can't speak to me, then that's the consequence, right? And the person's like, well, I can't control what I say, right? I said, no, but you can control how you say it. You can't control your anger, but you can control. So I said, how about when you start getting angry, maybe I'm triggering you. Maybe my presence triggers you, or maybe I said something that triggers your generational trauma shit. So I'm a trigger. I'm a walking trigger. But how about instead of calling me names, saying, I'm angry. I'm getting triggered. This is upsetting me. So the person that I said this to in my family wrote it down. Wrote that down. I'm angry. I'm getting triggered. This is upsetting me. This person is actively trying. And I love this. And I was like, oh my God, there's hope. And if there's hope for this person, there's hope for a lot. Because this person has like narcissistic tendencies. Just saying. Not a narcissist, though. Definitely not a narcissist. But tendencies. So I just want to let you guys know that it's possible for anybody. Okay? And remember, and the consequences, I don't keep forgiving. When somebody calls me names, if I have to, this is the difference between cutting someone off because you just have enough of their bull crap, bullshit. If you have enough of their bullshit because you forgave them over and over and over, and now because you never had a consequence to your boundary. That's the issue, that we never have the consequence to our boundaries. Right? So set some consequences and follow through. But you don't have to be mean about it and be like, I'm going to cut you off if you talk to me like that. It's a little different. So remember, when you have a fight with a family member or a partner or someone, don't address your boundaries and consequences when you're angry. Let me repeat that. I should write this in big on this screen. when you are in an argument with someone and you are in the fight, flight, angry mode, do not set your boundaries and your consequences. Walk away, cool down, come back when you see that both of you are lighthearted and willing to talk. Okay? Because when you address the boundaries and consequences, you are coming at them with ego. They will respond with ego. And this is something that never worked for me. I was like, you know what? Fine, I can't be in your life. You can't be in my life. I've done this before. And this person's like, fine, I don't want to be in your life. I want this person in my life, and they want to be in my life. And now I get a chance to have a loving relationship with that person. Can you also speak to what you use or practice during the down period of your loved ones leaving? Yes, great question. I'm happy you mentioned that. So we have about 5 minutes to the meditation until we go live also on Facebook. So can you grab them in your room? Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we have about 5 minutes. I'm just going to let you know, perfect question. And I'll address this after the meditation. Meditation, by the way, is about redirecting. We're going to do a meditation on redirecting. So if you are in a relationship and you are investing too much love, too much energy, all that stuff, if you're a breakup, if you're doing all that, we're going to redirect. That's the meditation today. So when you walk away and there's a time that you're angry and both of you walk away, both of you need to do something. And you can send this live or this video that's going to be on YouTube to your partner. Both of you need to do this. And don't be angry if your partner doesn't do this right away. It's practice, okay? When you walk away, you have to write in big. Write it on your phone. Write it on your phone. Don't blame the other person. Don't. Okay? Don't go out and be like, you did that. Now it's you against the person. Right? It's not you guys against the problem. Walk away. Now here's the key. For the first 10 minutes, I want you in your mind to verbally lash out. That fucking piece of shit. You can say no filter. All of that. Because if you don't, it will stay suppressed in your body. Right? Huge. But don't allow yourself more than like 10, 20 minutes is even a lot. But a good solid 10 minutes on just, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's this, that. Point the finger, blame. But just I only allow myself 5 minutes. For me, 5 minutes. I do not, and you put a timer on your phone and just totally, right? After that 5, 10, 20 minute topic, you now have to point the fingers at you and take responsibility for your part and never use the word but. I did that because of, but he did that, she did that. I did that, but no. Complete owning your part. Now imagine, so this is what happens with my partner and I right now, what we do. Now I don't have this with all my relationships. There's different relationships and stuff, but my partner and I are the closest right now. And same thing with my daughter. We both do the same thing. So my closest relationships, we make sure that when we are split up, we both self-reflect. And we say, what can I, so think about it that way. When we come back, I did this, and I could have said this better. I could have done this better. And this person goes, well, I did this, and I did this, and I did that, and I could have done this better. I could have said this better. Do you know how strong that comes together? You're not doing this. You're doing this, and it strengthens. So you can express, hey, this made me upset when you said that. It did. It really affected me. But I said that. Not but. Don't ever with the but. I said that. And don't, listen, everything that upset you that the other person said, address it after. After. Do you know for a fact, when you come at a person with owning your shit, the person was like, they now open up their heart to you. And now you can tell them, you know, when you said that, that hurt me, right? That wasn't nice. I know you're right. That wasn't nice. Because now their heart is open. But if you come at them right away pointing the finger, they're going to point the finger back because now they're defensive. I didn't do it. And you ever notice, no, I didn't say that. I didn't. And then they interrupt each other and all that, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do this. We're going to go live right now on Facebook as well. So we're going to start the meditation. I'm just going to go live. Give me a second. Hold on. This is not. Where am I? Hold on. I got to do it like this. Just got to make sure I'm straight here. All right. Process. Curse silently 5 minutes, then reflect on how to approach it differently in some way. Yes, but after this meditation, I'm going to go over this again. I'm not sure if I'm live. You're live now. Give me a second. This is new. And I can't see comments and stuff. Let's see. Oh, yes, I can see it. Okay. So I'm live on Facebook, I believe. So let me know on Facebook if you're on and say hi. It's the first time I'm going live on my laptop and this is new. So I'm not quite sure. So we're going to start the meditation in about 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm going to wait for some people to jump on. I think I'm live. This is very strange, guys. I will be on Troll Patrol. Thank you, CC. Let's see here. If anybody is on Facebook, can you guys let me know if I'm on? Because it's very strange. I don't even see myself. It says that I'm live for a minute now, but I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. Okay, perfect. Hi, Michelle. Okay, we're good. I saw the comments. I don't see myself on the live, but I definitely see the comments. Okay, so today's meditation, I mentioned it before on TikTok, but I'm going to repeat this. So today's meditation is about relationships. Okay, so whether you are on, you're in a relationship and it's going really well, but you want it to go a little better. Maybe you broke up from a relationship. Maybe you want to strengthen a relationship with your family member or your partner, a friend, anything that you're feeling towards relationships. So this meditation is about redirecting energy back to us. Because what happens is sometimes when we're upset, like it's okay when you're loving and everything, but sometimes we get caught up in our relationships, whether they broke up, and we're too invested, so much so that we forget ourselves. So this meditation is all about redirecting. We're going to redirect every time that you have this feeling of like, oh my God, what are they thinking? What are they saying? How come they didn't call me? And there's so much energy that we put on our relationships, which is very important. It's okay. But sometimes there's a level that you should be getting more of that energy back to you. All right. So what do you guys think of that? Hi, Ja. I appreciate your words. Thank you so much. That's a nice compliment. I love your energy. That's my favorite compliment. I love your energy. Yes, so this meditation, so if I went live went live on TikTok. I'm actually live on TikTok and on Facebook. I'm going to be uploading the full live of all the conversation about relationships, how to strengthen relationships, how to diffuse the triggers when you're upset in relationships and all that. I'm going to be uploading that one to YouTube, but the meditation will be on Facebook for sure. All right. I needed this. Okay, perfect. So James, that's okay. This meditation is everything is going to be up on YouTube, but we're going to go live. So for whoever wants to join me after this meditation, I will be live on TikTok and we're going to have a huge conversation about relationships and all that stuff. Okay, so let me pick the song. So we're going to do, I would say, I don't know. We're going to go with the flow. I don't know if it's going to be 10 minutes, 20 minutes. We're just going to go with the flow of what it is. Sounds good to you? All right. So am I too loud? Guys, I got a new speaker. So whoever's on Facebook is going to hear me very clearly with my new microphone. I'm so excited. Okay. So for this meditation, I'm going to ask you if you're lying down. I know I usually don't ask. I'm like, sit down, blanket, whatever. It's okay to still be cozy. Okay. Oh, the link to my YouTube is just Tanya Beauty Coach. For anybody who's asking, just Tanya Beauty Coach. Everywhere is Tanya Beauty Coach. You look for me, Tanya Beauty Coach, I show up all over the place. It's pretty easy. All together, Tanya Beauty Coach. All right, so sit down comfortably. The reason I'm asking you to sit down is because we're doing redirecting and we don't want to fall asleep for this one. Sounds good? Okay. Let's see, hold on, there might be... All right. So make sure that you're sitting comfortably, spine straight. So this meditation is about redirecting the energy and all that love that you've been giving everyone else back to you. So for anybody joining, feel free to join on this live anytime in this guided meditation. Close your eyes, spine straight. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Another deep breath in, very slowly. And exhale. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. Relax your head. All the hair on your head, your forehead, your eyebrows. Relax your eyes, your ears, all the muscles on your cheeks. Release the tongue off your palate. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax your jaw. Feel the energy going down your neck. Another deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders, drop them. Feel the energy going down your arms, down your hands. Relax your hands. Now I want you to turn your hands, palms facing up. Bring your awareness to your hands. And slow your breath. Now bring your energy back to your shoulders. Relax your shoulders, down your chest, your back, down your stomach, down your spine, to your hips, all the way down your legs, down to your feet. Relax your jaw a little bit more. Drop your shoulders. Now I want you to think of someone. You might be thinking of a few people, but somebody specific. Picture them in your mind. Slow your breath. Now, as you picture them, feel your heart beating. Relax your shoulders. Now I want you to imagine a cord, either made from a cord or from a light, linking both of you. Either from your heart to their heart or from your stomach to their stomach. Now, when our thoughts are with others, our energy is with them, and that's okay. But what we're going to do here today is take that energy and redirect it back to us. So we may still be attached energetically to whoever we can or want to be. But the energy will always redirect it back to us. So imagine that cord that is linking you. Imagine a bright white light around that cord. I want you to imagine it spinning around you, letting go of whoever it was attached to, finding it swirling and all that white light spinning around you, almost making you dance. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to smile just a little. And as this cord, this white light string wrapping around you, you feel safe. And if you don't, I want you to keep imagining that white light. You will get used to feeling more and more safe. So no matter what is happening outside of you, feel it in your heart. Now imagine you sitting here right now, palms facing up, eyes closed. Imagine your mind, all the thoughts that you have. Imagine all those thoughts had little cords. All the people you were thinking about, situations, all linking you to all of them all around the world. Now let's do this again. Imagine that cord with a bright white light, letting go, redirecting back to you. Imagine that white light surrounding you, letting go of everything that you're thinking about and feeling. And that white light is filling you, swirling around you with love. All the energy and love that you have been giving everyone else is now directed back at you. Bring your awareness to your heart. And that white light has shined all over you and now is shining in your heart. Now we're going to sit here in silence And there's going to be thoughts that will arise. And I want you to try this on your own. Every time that you get a thought, imagine a cord, change it into a light, and swirl it around you. Redirect it back to you. And then into your heart. Let's do this together. Remember, every time you redirect all that light back to you, imagine yourself dancing, swirling, an energy of light all around you. Energy is filling your body into your heart. You'll notice the more you redirect, the more you feel yourself dancing on clouds. Finally taking care of you, of your energy. Feel it in your heart. Redirect all your thoughts. Slow your breath. Relax your jaw. Now, bring your awareness to your feet. We're going to ground ourselves. Feel the energy in your feet. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your legs, very little. Move your hands. With your eyes closed, slowly move your head side to side. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. We're staying in the silence. You can listen to the sounds around you. Sometimes those sounds may irritate us, but they bring an awareness of us. Just keep redirecting. You forgot you were meditating. So how do you guys feel? I'm just gonna play some music here. I just want to know how you guys felt. Diana, I'm sending so much love to you. And if you can, Diana, check out my YouTube videos. I have so much about not wanting to be here on Earth, not wanting to live this experience. And I have so many videos that talk about that, and I hope you can find them. That's okay if you have a hard time meditating. Some people have a hard time. If it's your first time here, if it's your first time meditating, don't shame yourself. I have a lot of meditations on YouTube for starters. This was a little more, it was a short one, but a little more intense. But if you're struggling, and it's okay, it happens. Listen, we have to start somewhere, right? I feel like a young teenage girl. That's amazing. I need this in my life.